Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Liam's probably a little loud, honestly. But, hi! Excuse me. Happy March 9th! It's Miku Monday, too, which makes the day even better. We're going to ignore the fact that I just tried to get Resident Evil 9 working for an hour. And instead we're going to think about how cute Miku and all her friends are. By playing Logic Paint and listening to the sweet tunes. Though I admit, I am on a very difficult puzzle right now. I have defeated, as it were, Miku's and Rin's, but Len's, we have some things to go through. So that's what I'm up to tonight. So yeah, this guy's hard. So like, I've got my 5 down here, and it's either up here or below here. I don't know which one yet. And the 7 up here, same thing. Not really sure, because I don't have any other clues or hints. But I was playing this and I was tired last night, so there could be that there's just something sitting here waiting for me to spot it that I haven't identified yet. Like, actually this 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, this doesn't actually help. Right. I mean, they don't quite touch, for one. So it's got to be one or the other, unfortunately for me. And this 2s and 7, like that can go here or here. So like, this is the only one that I can guarantee, unfortunately for me. Same thing. Still end up in like literally the same place trying to go that way. So unfortunately that doesn't help either. The 2 and the 9s. This drops you out here. Again, I can't help myself here. I do have a singular dot from here from the 5, which... Again, not helping. Like, it all just ends in the same place. Though, actually, by this logic, though... Actually, wait. Well, no, it doesn't help. Because this could be a 6 and this could be one of the 4s. And that would still fit. So I can't, like, rule out here either. Man. Like, so far, all the puzzles in this game have been solvable without guesswork. Which is good. And I don't imagine that they've changed that. But I'm having trouble with this puzzle. 2, 5, 1, 2. I guess theoretically I might go get some stuff here. So like 9 goes up to there and then skip. 4, skip 2, and like that means the 2 can slide anywhere around there. And if the 2 can slide there, then the 4 can slide. I suppose potentially this does mean here is good. Down to here, yeah. So there's that. So this might help us. And I mean, honestly, this might be real too, but let's hold off on that. So this is a 3. I can't fill out anything there. This is... I mean, this would force this to be the 5. But also, it could be a 5 and then a 4. So that doesn't help. This could be the 2 or the 7. Right. Basically, whether it's the 2 or the 3 coming in here. Actually, no. This does help slightly, maybe. Well, in the sense that this can't be a 7 from this perspective. because this would be an 8 if these things were connected. Which would imply that it's like a 7 this way and then this is a 2, maybe. It doesn't help with this one though, because this implies this. So again, we haven't really learned anything from that. Similar here, this is a 9, so this could be a 2. This guy could be connected, it could not be connected. Again, I don't have an actual anything here. Man, this guy's hard. Okay, so let's do this again. So if this is a 9, 4 and 2, then you'd have from the other angle coming down this way. This. It's like, ooh, okay. We've gotten it wrong. Though, I mean, that does potentially help. Because this at least implies that those are full. Doesn't imply this one, but it does imply the others. Also, if the 9 is under here, that forces us to have a 4 up here and a 2. So the 2 doesn't necessarily matter here. Yeah, no, it doesn't really help us. Dang. This kind of helps, maybe, in the sense that it means that that's an X. But either way, the 10 could go this way or go that way. So tricky. There's the singular 8 here. If I could figure out where it is, that would be helpful. I mean, there's a potential chance, you know, it's connected to the 10, but that's really no guarantee at all. So, is there anything else I can figure out? So like this is the 8, clearly. So like it could go this way and not touch it. It could also go here, and then you can still fit the 2s. But there's no guarantee that it goes that way. But there's got to be something. So for example, this has to be a 6 because it's not a 1. Which means if it went this way, you'd end up like this. But if you went this way, you could totally do that and still have plenty of space. So really nothing. It's also a 3. This is a 4. And if it goes this way, then like cool beans. There's nothing that says it can't go this way. So it doesn't help me at all. Similar if it went this way, like there's nothing contradicting that either. But there has to be a 1 over here somewhere, which is important. There also has to be a way to do this without guessing. This is either the 2 or the 3. I mean, you get the 3 like that, maybe, yes. But there's really no constraint here. Thought I was onto something with this, but So the fact that there's like only 2s up here, could that be helpful at all? Maybe, but maybe not. Also, we figured this out, by the way, because this is the 4, because it's, you know, not the 1, which means that this can't be anything. And if this can't be anything, then that can't be anything because the 6. And then if this can't be anything, then that can't be anything because of the 3. And that means that you can't have the 4. And then those are the 2s. So like, that's how I ruled those out, by the way, in case you're wondering. Same deal for this 2 and for this 12. But are there other potential ones I could use? Not really. I mean, this has to be a 3, and then a 1 could be anywhere. I mean, I could press the button here, and we could potentially get it wrong, and then know for sure that this is a 9 and that there's a 2 here. Which doesn't necessarily help us that much. Like, if you knew that this was filled in, then you can either be like 5 there, or 5x5x3, I guess, which potentially maybe helps, but I don't want to have to guess is the thing, because we don't get fun outfits if we get more than 3 wrong. So, you know, I want to avoid that. But this has to be a 9. So that's helpful, right? Because if this is a 9, then that's an X. And if this is a 9, then these are both X's, right? Yeah. And if this is an X, then that's an X because you can't fit a 3 there. So, helpful maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which, if this is there, then I guess you can fill in these ones. And if we can fill in that, this means that this is not a 2, which means it's connected. So that's helpful. This doesn't guarantee anything about this being a 4, or even if about being a 6. But even if it was a 6 or a 4, it would have to have one here, which is good. And if this exists, then that has to be filled in, because if one from here, then you have a 5. So that's good. We are like one step away from being able to say that there's the 2s right there, which is exciting, but no guarantee. This does also rule this out, though. So that's helpful. And again, 3 and 4 can't exist there, so no dice. This also can't exist with a 6, so no dice. This can't exist with a 5, so no dice. Great. 5 doesn't fit here, but it does fit here. And also there. So no new info there. But this does mean these are both filled in, which is useful. And if this guy exists, then he must be part of the 4, which means this was a 4. This is a 2. Which is good, because that means this isn't real. Because it can only go to there, and you can't fit another 2 in there. So that means that the 4 is here or up here somewhere. So that's helpful. We're making progress. Also, this is part of the 5. And it's not part of this. But I can't make any promises about it, so. Okay. Okay. Dang. We're on a good roll there, too. Let's go back down here, because this was like the most helpful area so far. So, the thing is, if this is a 6, you have 3 here and then 3 here, so that literally cannot be a 6, sorry. So you can't fit it there, which means it must be connected. Great. And that's helpful, because now we know that this is the 12. Beautiful. Okay, and 4 and 1 can only fit in one way here. And this is a 2. Exciting stuff. Oh yeah. Alright, and that also rules out all of these. And all of these. And all of these. We are making progress. Beautiful. Also, this means that this is connected. Which means this is connected because that's a 5 and can only fit here. Then this must be connected. Which means we can go up to here. Helpful. This is a 3. And then this is a 7, which means you guys are all connected. Also means that this is filled in. Which we could have figured out from that anyway. So that's, you know, my bad. Okay, don't know if it's that way or the other way yet, though. Except, oh no, this could still be a 4. Okay, but this is a 3 down here, which means those connect, which means these connect, which means this connects and this connects. Beautiful. Okay, we're making progress. That's not real. There's only one place for 1s here. There's the 10s. We're doing it. We're figuring out Len's tricky ass puzzle. Okay, well this 2 is clearly a 2. The snozzberries taste like snozzberries. So this has to be the 7, but it can't extend too much further, so we don't have room. Therefore, bam. Okay. This is also the 5, so we'll have to connect there. So I think one of these guys filled in. 4. It's helpful. Unfortunately, we can't narrow down the 4 here at all. Okay. Interestingly, this has to be part of a 2 because it's not filled in. And if there's a 1 to its left, then it has to be like this. Which is good. And this has to be part of the 4, so we can easily ascertain that situation. So this is part of that. Okay. There's both of our 2s in this row. This guy could go anywhere, I guess. There we go. So yeah, I listened to a good amount of Vocaloid today because I mean, not that I don't do that every day, but today especially is an ideal day for it. That's also not filled in. Interesting though, this is a 3, which means that's there, and which means that's there. And that's there. Lovely. That's the 1. This is the 3. Yep. Which means that's that. Okay. Guarantees that. Just guarantees that. Just guarantees this and that. And the other thing. Okay, good. This is the 5. This is a 4. It's also part of a 1. Okay. This 4 can only fit here. And that gives us this. So that 1 fills out that. get these guys going. All kinds of handy. And this is part of a 6. Yep. Boop, 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 doo, doo. Alright. Got that. Everything is coming up Miku right now. Or Len, rather. But, you know, I did all of Miku's puzzles, so what am I supposed to do? Redo those? I don't think so. Okay, what the heck did you just make me build? That was really hard. 41 minutes. It's a yacht! Very nice. We got a fancy outfit. Let's mix this up then. Alright, Len. Alright, Len. Here, you can wear that. With a party hat. This game is so cute. Extremely cute game. But fun too. Alright. Got a 17 going on here. Or an 18 rather. So that's exciting. Okay. So overlap is where we can make assumptions. Because there's only really, like, there's only 2 slots that aren't accounted for that you can shift within. Which means anything that is greater than 2 in on either side, we can guarantee, which is nice. I think potentially you can also maybe, no, because it could be that and that combination. So these guys are actually no, they're in no man land. But this is okay, as is this. As far as the 6 goes, we can guarantee that. Just can't guarantee the other part. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's a helpful start, at the very least. Also, we know that there's only 1 above, based on this, which is cool. This has to have stuff in it, which means we can go out to here. Same thing here, can go out to there. This has to be the 3, which means it's actually like this, which also gives us this. Very cool. And then, what else do we got? Nothing else yet from that, but over here probably. Let's see. So this is not the 1. So it could be this and this, or it could be like that and that. We don't know, but it's some combination of those. Same here. This guy has to be a 4 though, which means we can fill in those. And then you have to be a 3, so we can fill in that. Same deal. Also, that means you can cross this out. And then this has to be a 3. And this actually also fills in that, which means that we can do this, which is handy. This is a 4. This is also a 4. And then this is a 3, which I can't do anything with. So this is a 3, which could extend either way and it would be valid. So if that's the 3, you could have the 2 and then a 4. But no guarantees there. That would be pretty, it would make sense, but okay. What else? Is there anything else I missed up here that we can figure out without having to think too Not really, right? So, all right. Well, that's a very good start in my opinion. So that's good. This 4 up here, I guess you could do it like anywhere like that. Or like even if this was a 2, you could extend it, but then there's still plenty of room to put the other 4. Especially if it's like this, in which case you end up with this. Either way, you kind of end up wanting this though, right? Yep. So that's helpful. Okay. This is also a 5. Yeah, that's a 5, which means that's not real, because it wouldn't fit. But everything else about it is fine. Although that also means that this is like this. So you can fill out those guys as well as this. Which is helpful because that narrows this down to being the 2. Kind of, almost. Not quite because of this still. So we haven't quite narrowed down. But this means that this is the 4. There's only one 4. Helpful. This can't be it. Because you can't make a 3 from that. There we go. But the 2 could fit here, so like these could fill up that way. And then the 5 would have to go back this way. So. Okay. This is good music. Okay, but this is part of the 4, right? So I can actually fill that out, which is helpful. Especially since that gives us this. Very, very handy. Which also means that, which cuts that off. This is something. Gives us this, which is helpful. Also that, and that. All that good stuff. Which rules out that this is not the 4. I mean 2. So that's the 4, which means that this has to be the 2. And then there's not enough room for the 4 here. Which gives us that. Which also fills in that. Which cuts that off. Gives us this. This has to be part of a 3. Get this. That has to be filled in. You get that from that, and this from that. And then we have a 7 here and a 6 there. Go from there. So this is what I do for fun when I'm not playing other games and that kind of thing. I enjoy the logic puzzle games. They are an entertaining thing to do. Which is why I made one. Because it's a good time. Hold on. Sorry, thinking about this. This has to be the 4. Yes. This has to be the 4, which means that this is filled in because that can't be. Beautiful. Thank you for that. This is part of the 5. This has to be the same block because there's not enough space between. This guy's a 4 and also a 2. But if this is blocked, you can go back this way and get both of those and that. And then what do we have here? A 6. Helpful. This is guaranteed. It's also part of the 8. Fun fact. Okay, a 3 can't fit there, so rule it out entirely. This 6, though, we don't really know. Except this is a 3, therefore we do know, because it has to do this. Lovely. Rules out that again, which means this is like that because of the 3. It's the 4. this we can fill in almost all the way. Actually, wait, we can fill it all the way because if this is a 4 and this is 7, this can't be real. There we go. It gives us that and rolls out all those. Also, the 2 gives us this, which helps fill in that, which means... Oh, well, that's 4 is right there. Lovely. Which also rolls out this guy, which gives us these 2 from that 3. This one has to be like this. And that 7 goes all the way down, which means I'm going to rule out this and all these. Excuse me. Okay, let's fill out this guy. Which gives us that. And also means that these ones are connected. Lovely. And that guy's connected too. Gives us this, which means that's filled in, which fills that in too. Fill this in, then go up a bit. And then, whoops, sorry, wrong button. 6 goes there. 4 lives like that. Lives quite happily ever after, as it were. That gives you that. Gives you this. 4 here. These have to be connected because of the 8. 3 there and 4 here. Bam! So much easier than the last one. It's an anchor. So nice. Give me a quick second. Can I window you for a second? Oh gosh. Can I window you smaller for a second, please? Sorry, I just wanted to... Okay. Sometimes I just get worried that like OBS isn't working or something. Was it this? Full screen? There we go. It's just naturally borderless full screen. All right, very good. Also, because it's Miku Monday, we can listen to the Miku DJ, or I guess Len DJ for a little bit. Like, look at him go. He dances. Do you like the messy style though? He's so happy. I just love how they put in the little bit of effort to have like your chosen character currently do some DJing. It's cute. Like there's a lot of love put into this game is what it feels like. Alright. Okay, we're good there. Alright, well that's always a nice start. Alright, so there's a 3. There's also a 3 here. There's a 2 here, so I can't actually figure anything out. This has to be one of the 2s. We don't know which one, but it's one of the 2s. This has to be the 5, which can... It has to extend out this way because if you did this. So it's helpful because that means that there's something here. And it could be a 6, it could be a 4, it could also be a 3. Either way, it has to have something right there. But if it's the 4, then it would extend across there, which would be kind of cool. So it has to be the 4 though, because 6 could only extend so far. Like that. Right? So we know that the 6 is like that. We also know there's a 1 here, which could be this and this, or this and this. So it's a little ambiguous. But we know they're over there. We know they're out there. 3. This one starts with a 7. So like that could be all of these. Or it could go out this way and it would also fit perfectly fine. So doesn't help us. This kind of helps us because it means that this is an 8. So it can at least go out to there, and because there'd be a 1 and then a split here, then you can also push it out 2 more. Which is helpful. That means that this is a 2, and then the other 2 could fit there. But this is a 4, which means it pushes up there. And this is a 6, which means it can push all the way up to there. Again, handy and helpful. This does mean that these guys are all dead. Which is good. Because you can't fit a 5 here, you can't fit a 2 here. You can fit a 1 there, can't fit a 5 there, can't fit a 2, can't fit a 2, can't fit a 2. So that helps narrow that down for later. Still unsure about that. And that, and that, and that. This could very easily be like this, and that would not be filled in. That would work fine. So can't make any assumptions about this. This one we can make assumptions about, though. Because it's supposed to be 2 3s. So there you go. Can't make any assumption with the 4, though. We're just a little bit off from that. This being 3 doesn't help us. This does help us, though, because we rolled out that, which means that all of these are filled in. And this means that this is a 3, which is helpful. Okay. That said, if this is a 7, even if this is filled in, this still has to be filled in. So we can do that, and then use the fact that this tells us the 3 is like that to fill in these. Helpful. So we can fill out that. This. So you can fill out these 2 because of the 6. This is the 4. Which means we can fill out these guys, and that means these are connected. This is the 4 then, so we can fill out to there knowingly, and here knowingly. Can I rule anything else out? That's the real question. Potentially. I mean, this has to have a 3 in it, so we put that there. This also has to be a 5, so it can get pushed out to there, which means that this is 4 and then this is part of 6. So, assuming that you go as far as you can, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, not 6. I don't know how to count, that's why. My bad, but I suppose that does at least tell us how that works, so. You know. We learn. So 5. Okie dokie. Oh, this can't be real because you have 2 2s. One of which is there. The other which is all the way down here. So that's helpful. Because then you get that. And then you get that. And that means you can do down to there. Which fills in quite nicely. Okay. You can't fit another 2 in there, which means that has to be there, so you can fill that in. Good. This is a 5, so you can fill in this. This is a part of a 6, so you can fill in these 2. And then these have to be connected, so you can get that, get the 4. Not sure about some of the other guys, but that fills in, so there we go. So you can't fit both a 6 and a 3 over here. good. Okay. So that's filled. As is that. Okay. So nice when things work. This is a 5. Fills out all those. Beautiful. Alright. Making good progress. Making good progress. Alright. I think the 3 and the 1 had to be down here somewhere. So that's good. The 6 that we're looking at here gives us this at the very least. Which also fills in a few blanks here. More than a few blanks, I suppose. There's that. 3, 1, and this is part of a 4. Which rules that out. Which rules out. There we go. Helpful. No guarantee on other things though. But it is a 3, a 3, and a 1 though. And you can only fit that certain ways. So that helps ever so slightly. That being the 2 means to go down there. Which means you can say this is that. And that's there and there. Which gives us that 4. This 2. And that connects us to the 5. That connects. Let's rule it out. That connects. There we go. It's the 4, not the 2. Which means the 2 is down here. Beautiful. It's not real. Neither of these, because these are the bottom ones. There we go. Okay. We don't know where the 1 sits yet, but we will. We will, eventually, we will. There has to be a 4 in here. So there you go. And that rules that out. It's kind of fun. This has to be the 5. Rules those pieces out, which rules that piece out. There is 1 in here somewhere. Just don't know where. But I mean, if this is part of the 2, then you can't have that. Same deal there. This guy has to include both a 4 and a 3, which means this one and the one to the right of it are not part of the same block. Which means we can make the reasonable assumption that those are filled in. Which gives us this and that. Gives us that. You cannot fit a 2 right there. Beautiful. Okay, we are so close. That has to include this. This doesn't help us with figuring out that 3 though, except that it rules that out. Which also rules out this, which gives us this finally. Although you could also figure that out from here. That gives us this though. This gives us that. And this gives us that. Also that's a 4, so that and this. So we should all those. Okay. That gives us these 4. Gives you this. Gives you that. Gives you this. Gives you that. Tulip. What kind of hat did we get? Wait, not another. Wait, but didn't I? Normally it goes like body wear hat piece. Oh, the anchor gave us the hat. Alright, hold on. We'll give him the hat that matches his current attire. Now he's the captain. He's Prince Charming with a captain hat. Have anything Prince Charming-ish? Pancakes. Pancakes are always Prince Charming-rific. Or just a frog. He's now Frog Charming. You know, the guy who gets kissed and becomes not a frog anymore. Alright, let's keep going. That 13 is nice. It means that we can fill in up to there, because we can have 7 on either side. This gives us up to here, because it's part of the 9. This gives us nothing of value. That doesn't give us anything of value either. This does, though, kind of, in the sense that it means we can rule that out. Can't rule anything else out, though. The 7 means we can go this way, and this 9 means we can go out this way. Thank you, that gives us this. Gives us this, gives us that. Also, this being the 4 means we can roll that out. And that. I can't really rule anything out there. But we can rule out more things. Always good and appreciative. And because we can rule those out, that means this 6 has to extend out by 1. 4 is still 4, and we can't do anything about that. But this 9 can extend out to there. So, progress. Also, we now have this 10 and 3. So that gives you that, which means that if we take this into account, and that's that 3, then you can fill in these guys. Yeah, I can't really fill anything else though, sadly. But that does give us that, and that also gave us this 2, and that 2 is the bottom, so that can go that way. Doesn't illuminate too much else. It does mean that the 4 is on this side. Yes, it does mean that. So you can at least fill that in, which means you can fill in this. This is interesting because this is not filled in, so that means that it's not a 2. It means it's the 3, and it can't go that way, which means this is the 5. Which means this goes this way. Which means we fill in this way. Always good. This also means that this 4 cannot fit in here, which cuts that off, which means we can get our 13. Always handy. And that gives us part of the 5. It doesn't help us with this 3, though. Yeah. Sad. Okay. That said, if this is a 6, then there you go. Can't be connected there. Oh, and this is a 5, so therefore. Beautiful. We've narrowed this down now as well. So we can do another push out from there. Also, this means that we can very easily fill in these guys as part of the 7 here. So that's helpful for later. A 1 and an 8, huh? 1x 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. Interestingly, this is part of the 6. Also, that 4 can be filled. Okay. This also means that this is part of the 3, which means that gets filled in, which means this gets filled in, which means this gets filled in. Always good. Always appreciated. Okay. That also means this fills in. So there you go. This being a 5 means that this goes out this way. This 2 doesn't help us, but this 3 certainly does. So there you go there. 2 somewhere. But no guarantees. That's that. Which gives us this. Oh, that 7's the bottom. Beautiful. Okay. There's got to be a 3 here. This is part of a 6, which means that that's ruled out here. This, we don't know if it's a 2 or a 4, but... There is an interesting pattern here, though, with the 7, 8. But there's also a 9 right here that I've been ignoring. So the 9 can't fit there. So that's good. The 5 can definitely fill in here, and so can the 2. But then that wouldn't make any sense because there's going to be only 1 Highlander here. So. But the 9, though, can get all those. Which is always appreciated because it's along the top. And if it's along the top, very easy to fill in. This means that this is a 3. It doesn't help us figure it out, but we know that the 2's over there now, at the very least. This is part of the 6, which means we can rule these 2 things out. Similarly, this is a 3. Also, that's that. So, thank you for that. Alright, if the 2's there, then that means that can be there, which means it has to be here. And there you go, that connects and goes all the way over. Thank you. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Alright, this goes backwards. That doesn't connect, this does. This is part of the 6. There's only 6 pieces here. Very good. Good. Okay. I wonder what we're drawing. We're drawing something. Who knows what. Okay, there's a 5 here. 311. Wasn't that a phone number you used to use to like call up to get information or something? Remember when that was a thing? Okay, it's still 3. That 1 is already set. You 3 lives. There we go. Thanks. Thanks. And thanks. Yeah. Good. All right. That's the 1 there. 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's part of the 8. Good. That has to be like this because of the 2, which gives us the rest of that, which gives us this. Oh, you are dumb and silly. Part of me wonders if, like, did they make the... Like, did they draw the pictures first and then put the puzzles in? Or did they draw the puzzles and then, like, Rorschach test it to figure out what the puzzle is? Like this one. It says dancer. And, like, now that it says dancer, I can see it. It's like a hip-hop dancer, like a breakdancing guy. But until it said dancer, I thought that was a weird mushroom. Because I thought this was the top. But there's the head. Sorry, we get wings? Oh, we get a crown. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Okay. Getting so close. I only have 6 more puzzles for Len. There's 17 here. Alright, we could probably figure out a good number of things in the sense that it is entirely spoken for. Okay, very nice. Alright, this is a 5. We can do something with this one. That means this is an 8. So we go that far. 3 and a 1. So that narrows that down. Which also means we go this way. That far, I think. Which also means that's connected. Probably also means this is connected, thank you. This being a 12 means that's definitely connected. Yeah. So, hold on a sec. So that's 8, so we can go out to here reasonably without worry. And sadly, the 1 and the 2 doesn't actually help us place anything else, but this does give us this, which also gives us this. Which also gives us this. And the 8 fits perfectly in here, which means things are full, which means that is X'd out. This is a 7 situation, an 8 situation, and I can't decide about that, but this is connected here with the 3, so there you go. Thank you. All right. Good. 2 plus 4 is 6, 7, 8. This is that good stuff. Don't have any guarantees about that yet, so we'll hold off. But that said, this one has to be that way. Which means there's 1 there, which also means there's 4 bits there. That's filled in. And this gets that. So that's good. Surprisingly, this is part of a 2, not a 1. Which means that there's 2 1s to the side of it, which means that there has to be 1 here and 1 here. Very good. Also, these are the things in there, which gives us this, which gives us this. Which we kind of already knew because of the 3-1 here, I just didn't pay attention to it. So, my bad. Okay. For a 6 and a 3 to fit here, they have to be like this. So, you know. And then that also means that that gives us this one. Gives us us that. Gives us this. Gives us this. 3, 1, 3. And then don't know about that, but this has to be part of a 5, which means they're connected. Thank you. That's the last one. You can fill in like that. You can't. Yeah. Good. Just that. This is a 2. This is probably part of the 6 then. Yep. Thank you for that. So it's 3, 1, and then 4. And then a 3. So fill in that. This is good like this. This guy is fun. 4 is coming out the wazoo there. This 2 I can't make any decisions about. This guy we can though. He is connected. Okay. Then the 7 here. I can't do anything about the 7. As far as I know. But this guy can fill in. Which fills that guy in. Helpful, helpful, helpful. And then there's a 1 in here somewhere. There has to be a bit here, which means this connects there, which means that has to connect. Thank you. Has to connect. Can't connect. And still can't make any decisions about that yet, as far as I can tell. Now this, though, is a 2, which means we can actually make a decision about what I just wrote out, because it can only extend there, can't extend there, which means you do this. And then this is a 3 and a 1, right? Okay, good. This means that's that. Thanks. That's our 7. Also our 8. Which means we can fill out those for the 4, but this goes there for the 2. And there's a 4 here. What is this? Lovely. Okay, very good. All this also means that that's all filled. Doesn't really tell us anything, but you know, good to know. And this 2 goes here. Bam. There we go. Okay, so this 5 can connect there. It's good, which means that it's also potentially a 2 here and then the 1 there, or it goes here and then the 1's off this way. No guarantees on anything there. This guy's the 3 though, which means that this is not filled in, which we already kind of know because you can't put a 5 there. Similar here, you can't put a 5 there, but you do need to put 1 here. There we go. Good. This implies the 3 here. Neither of those can fit there. The 4 must be here. 5 does that. 4 goes out that. This has to be just entirely full because of the 5. And then this is a 3 and a 4. Then this is a 5. That's got to be filled. Fill. connects there. The 3 can go there, which also very likely means that is not filled. Which means this is the one. Yep. Okay, the 9 is here. Fill in that. Give us the 4. Give us the 3. Give us the 2. It's fun when they like ladder up, I think. I think those are fun. What is this? Is this a lasso? Oh, is it a seahorse? What is this? Worm? Dragon? Ribbon fish. Lovely. A ribbon fish. And we get whatever this outfit is. Alright. We shall attempt one more, and then I will call it a night. Because it is daylight savings. And we did troubleshoot Resident Evil for far too long. And I probably should have given up sooner. But it is what it is, right? I mean, probably what I need to do is get the proton egg guy installed and then see what I can do there. But, you know. It's not easy. It's not easy. Let's see here. Don't think I can make any assumptions about anything else. The 11, we'll go all the way up here. Yep, as far as I can push that, but it also means that we can push this. Just a little bit though, not a ton, just a little bit. Okay, this also already gives us 2 in 1 there, which is fun. I don't know which one of these was the one that this is talking about though, but I guess it has to be this one. Could be worse. This is a 4. Okay. Let's see out to here because it's an 8. I don't think these have to be connected though. 1. And then another 1 somewhere in here. And then it goes to 10. The 1 could fit here, so I can't rule that out entirely yet. Rule that out though. 7's here somewhere though. So always appreciate a nice 7. This goes out 13 though, and this goes out 5. Do the 5 first, that one's easier to track. Okay. And there's the 13. Alrighty. Moving right along, we have a 6, a 1, and 2. Good. And then this is a 4, 2, 1, and a 2. Which is interesting because this means that this is the 3 and there's a 2. So they have to be like this. Which I appreciate. Okay. That's all good. Let's connect. This 2 probably honestly does something funny with that. That. This connects here. You are an oddly placed 2, but okay. This is 2, 1, 1. Oh yeah, look at that. 2 and 3 1s all fit right in there. And then you're trying to do a 7 from here. So I can fill in those. Likewise, we can fill in that. That 6 cannot connect to this without causing massive problems. So. Go to there and that's it. Right. 3 and 1 and 3. And then the 1 is somewhere in there, I can't really place it yet. But we can place all of these guys. I think we just got 3 from there. Yeah, 2, 2, 3. Which means that 4... Wait, sorry, hold on. 3 there. There. Not this guy, though. Okay. Making progress. So this 7 can almost be filled in. Okay. This is a 2, then a 3. Helpful. Certainly helpful. Bam, bam. That's the only place the 2 can fit. That's helpful. It gives you all of that. Just know that. Connect to there. Can't do jack there, but we can do this. And we're saying we're done there. So that connects, that connects. That X's, this connects. 4. And that's a 6 of all things. There's our 7, and also part of our 2. Which I am all for enjoying. Alright. Fix that. Oops. 8 and a 6. So the 6 has to fill in here. There you go. That fills in this way. Fills in that way. This has to be 2. Can't quite make the decision. Or can we? And then that's the 3 and a 6. 2 and a 4. This has to connect as a 7. Good. Alright, and then this is a 1, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 2. You'd like me a good ladder. That's what I call these little guys. Well, I guess they're not a ladder, they're more of a staircase. But still. So that's that, which means that goes there. That goes like this. We had to fit 2 2s in here. So they had to be on the opposite sides to each other. Similar 4, 3, 4. Well, you want to pursue the 7 here first. Because they are pretty close to each other here. It's also supposed to be 3. This is that. This. There has to be 1 here. Alright, there we go. Tom Yum Kung. I don't know what that is. It looks tomato-y, maybe? An egg? Egg, pork, and cabbage, maybe? Tom Yum Kung. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Beautiful. I like that the ladies' outfit has an open book on their head, while the men's is just balancing it on his head. Very nice. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Wrong button. I meant to click on this. We can mix things up. Not that I really want to, but we can, technically. Put the Miku boombox in there. As you can see, there's lots of stuff to customize, which is, you know, fun. And you unlock the things as you go. As you probably have picked up on now. Oh, look at the cute little Mako. The Miku. It is Miku's day though, so we will be keeping that. Those are unique. Sure. Just randomly choose one. The blinds are questionable. Yeah, so many of these patterns just are like, no thank you. But we'll have some hardwood floors, that's fun. They gotta set their clocks. Although I can go like full retro or full modern on it, it's good. Let's have a vintage one. They're all good. A lemon yellow one though. My own room, I really do feel like my calendar is mostly decorative. I barely use that as an actual calendar. Like, I did kind of use it as a calendar today, but everything else, not really. Get a gamer chair going. Funny kitties and friends. What? Here, Len, you don't have anything out there that's like specifically you, so. We do have a little Sakura Miku though. Alright, there we go. And now they're happy. The twins and Mako hanging out, being cute. So I'm going to beat his puzzles. There's also the special puzzles, none of which that I've really done yet. But they unlock bigger illustrations and such that you can hang on your wall like this guy. But we'll call it a day. So apologies about Resident Evil being a butthead. I will try to figure it out because I do want to play it. It'd be nice, but we shall see. But thank you for celebrating Miku Day with me by enjoying the Miku game. So bye for now.